Race 1 of the 2022 Emilia-Romagna round gets underway. Alvaro Bautista from pole, but he's going to lose top spot as they head down towards turn number 1. Toprak Razgatlioglu comes through as they flash past our commentary position into the first bend. Michael Ruben Rinaldi already making his dive for positions, going side by side with Andrea Locatelli for 5th position. He successfully claimed that. It's KRT still 3 and 4. Jonathan Ray with Alex Lowe's directly behind him. Axel Bassani going for a bold move further back down the order, trying to pass Andrea Locatelli for 6th. Locatelli though held on. Bassani making swift progress on the opening lap. Xavi Vierge relegated down to 8th, and Ika Lekuona dropping all the way back down to 12th position. Disastrous start for him. Race here for 2nd position. Razgatlioglu on the inside. Jonathan Ray will try to go the long way round. Bautista and Razgatlioglu scrapping it out up at the head of the field, and they're almost 3 abreast now as Bautista claims the lead, recovers the lead, and now Razgatlioglu cuts through. Ray going the long way round is going to try and sweep around the outside now of Bautista, give himself track position now as they come onto the next turn. And in the slipstream of Toprak Razgatlioglu, what a frantic opening lap this has been between the 3 of them.
Yeah, we saw on the run down in towards turn 8, Bautista just able to use the power of that Ducati to be able to get himself out in the front. But for Razgatlioglu and Ray, they weren't going to be able to take that one lying down. They were attacking straight back. That's what they need to do during this race.
Riding on board with Alvaro Bautista, looking back at Jonathan Ray.
We saw that Bautista was able to make overtaking moves on the exit of the last corner towards turn 1. We'll see just how strong that bike is this year. Not quite close enough to Toprak to be able to do that. That bodes well for the Yamaha rider, but clearly right now the Ducatis just have that little bit more edge. Jonathan Ray though looks pretty strong at this stage of the race as well.
And in the hands of Axel Bassani last lap around, a 1 minute 34.886, fastest of anyone last time around. Ray now makes his move, strikes on Alvaro Bautista as they come into the Rio loop turns 4 and 5.
That's a great move by Ray into turn 4. You could see just how on the limit he was with that rear end sliding through there. But he's very strong in sector 1, particularly the exit at turn 6. He's able to get that bike hooked up all the way through there. For Bassani on the 47 though, he knows this is a chance to get one over on the factory bike. He wants that factory seat for next year. The only way he's going to get it is by proving he's able to get a really good job done here in Misano.
Bassani with brilliant progress in this race so far, started in 10th position. Up at the head of the field, Jonathan Ray aggressive there on Toprak Razgatlioglu as they came through turns 9 and 10. Overtaking manoeuvres happening absolutely everywhere at the Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli today.
For Bassani, he knows that there's a good opportunity right now. It was only Jonathan Ray that was faster than him last time around, but for Bautista, is this the chance to make the move into 8?
A real send from Alvaro Bautista into La Quercia, and Toprak Razgatlioglu will square it off quite nicely and recover that 2nd place. Those two scrapping with one another is a real danger in the context of their race, because Jonathan Ray is able to ride at the rhythm he wants, to set the pace he wants, and try and break away. Still side by side between Razgatlioglu and Bautista. It's single file through Curvone though, that's for sure, and it's Bautista who's got track position.
Yeah, it's not going to be side by side for too long whenever you've got a 1st or 2nd gear corner leading onto a long straight. That's always going to be Ducati territory.
Big moment for Bassani going into turn 1. He's run off the circuit altogether. He'll take to the escape road. He has to rejoin within those white lines, and he's done so perfectly without losing too much time either to Toprak Razgatlioglu, who he was trying to outbrake into turn 1. A little bit ambitious on lap 5 from Bassani. Problems for Philip Ertl. He was running up in 12th position. Here goes Bautista in towards turn 8 for the lead on lap number 10. But just as in his fight with Toprak Razgatlioglu before, he runs too wide coming off of La Quercia, and Jonathan Ray slots straight back up the inside. And actually Bautista now is going to come under attack from Toprak over that 2nd place. Here we go into La Quercia on lap 13. Bautista's tried this move before and failed. Is he going to fail this time? Yes, he is. Jonathan Ray again with the cutback, sweeping through. Bautista will then try and build himself up, see if he can make a move and catch Jonathan Ray by surprise somewhere. He was close at turn 12 earlier on. Ray a little bit off the line. Bautista preferring a tighter line coming off turn number 10, and now he can use his acceleration. They come in towards Curvone. You're not going to make a pass there, are you? Yes, he is. Bautista comes firing through at the fastest corner on the circuit, and Alvaro Bautista leads at the home of Ducati. and by the time Jonathan Rea saw that Bautista was there, he was already alongside and through.
Well, it's a lot easier to acquiesce when you know that there's no defence, and certainly down that straight, Rea would have known that.
Bautista wide. Alvaro Bautista very wide indeed, and off the circuit altogether, manages to come back on in the path of Jonathan Rea and hold him behind him for the moment. So not as straightforward as perhaps things may have initially seemed as far as Alvaro Bautista is concerned. Is there a chance for Jonathan Rea to strike? Single file through the final 2 turns here in Misano. Rea picked to the tail of the Ducati, but look at the power then down the start-finish straight. Toprak Razgatlioglu retiring from the race with mechanical problems at the end of lap 14, and Razgatlioglu, winless in this 2022 campaign, is going to go another race without a victory. It's 10 in a row now this season for the man who defends his title this campaign, and Razgatlioglu's hopes really are in tatters with Bautista leading the way. Remember, he already trails by 52 points. Add another 25 to that if things stay as they are at present.
Yeah, for Toprak that could well be curtains, but that's mainly down to the consistency we see from these top 3 riders in the championship. But now for Toprak, it's all about just trying to build himself back up for tomorrow's races. But that's such a big shame for him. He's ridden well this year, just hasn't had the actual wins to show just how well he's ridden.
Second retirement of the season as well for Razgatlioglu. You spoke about the consistency. Bautista hasn't been off the podium yet in 2022. Jonathan Rea and Toprak Razgatlioglu came together, of course, in Assen race 2, and that's what cost them so dearly, and it's the reason that Bautista leads us at present. If things were to stay as they are, he would gain another 5 points over Jonathan Rea to be 22 points up, but as I said, 25 points set to be lost here by Toprak to Bautista out in front. Remember when he dropped over 30 down last season, he said it's game over for the championship. Well, this time it really might be. Up at the front of the field, we get a real contrast. Toprak Razgatlioglu retiring to his pit box. Alvaro Bautista piling on the misery for Jonathan Rea. A new fastest lap of the race, a 1:34.364, and only a fraction away from the outright lap record. And it's lap 17 now of 21, so going deep into the race with astonishing pace is Alvaro Bautista. None of them can even dream of catching Alvaro Bautista here this afternoon. Could we be at the beginning of an extremely memorable weekend as far as Ducati are concerned? Alvaro Bautista has dominated thus far. Pole position, the new lap record, and now the race victory. He's been a winner in each of the 4 rounds of this 2022 campaign now. Alvaro Bautista takes the checkered flag and extends his lead at the top of the 2022 World Championship with victory on home soil for Ducati.